it comes to love, you have to be patient, not desperate. That's how you show how much you want someone. It's about how much you're willing to conserve your energy, not how much you're willing to exhaust it. When it comes to approaching someone, there has to be a sense of boundary between you and that person. And there has to be a sense of worth within you and without you. Yesterday was funny because I spoke to someone on Bumble who actually, no, I approached her first, but she was very friendly, very eager, very happy to meet me. And at one point, I just flipped because she went silent. I was convinced that because I made the mistake of asking for her number when we had just met, that she was going to ghost me and no longer consider me a potential person to date or see. And ultimately what happened is I messed it up for myself and for her, because I retorted against what I perceived incorrectly as an act of rejection, when really it was just an action. When it comes to text, there are delays of several minutes because people have their own lives to handle. That's not just on the screen. And that can happen even if the initial pacing was pretty immediate, which it was, up until when, coincidentally, I asked her again if we were meeting on Wednesday, just to make sure that we were. And ultimately, what happened is that we couldn't meet on Wednesday because I, condemned her, basically. I told her, that she's not that special, that I can fap anytime I want, that it's lovely that because you suddenly see yourself as beautiful, that you can, throw yourself to the wolves and call yourself queen. But in time, you will learn. I was very resentful, actually, because I perceived her as being dismissive of me. In which case, even if she were being dismissive, would it be right to say that she shouldn't, that she should stay in line or something, especially after having just met her, let alone if I had known her for a long time, for instance. It's, oh, by the way, we're both trans. In the end, it's a self-induced failure because I let my mind play tricks on itself. I saw the temptation to see her as a villain or to see myself as a villain. And I jumped on it. I couldn't keep my peace. And what brings divinity to a relationship is the capacity to keep the peace, even when tension has built. That's how you grow in a relationship. But I couldn't do that, and it just started, which means I basically aborted the relationship, Look at my nails. Here, yeah. You like? Let me see. Wait. I can see my feet. It's the first time that I've got them painted. She would have seen that on Wednesday, but unfortunately, I went mad. And what is my default temperament? It's really not like that. When I'm with myself and I'm at one with myself, I'm very free and I'm very compassionate, and I recognize my intelligence and I recognize my spiritual connectedness. I recognize my sagacity. But when I am tempted by the interruption of a person, suddenly I lose my cool. I can't settle into that. Now it's a lot better than it was, but that's a problem that's still there, and it's not flattering. It's lost me so many relationships, friendly and romantic. Probably many more than I can think of in both categories before they even started, before I could even see them as friendships or romantic endeavors. I am convinced that very few people have actually been attracted to me, and yet I'm not that unsightly, I do have some semblance of style, and I'm fairly charismatic and intelligent. It's all in the head. My feet. Trying to get my feet. Wait. Okay, sort of. I don't know. It's like I'm setting myself up for failure because I believe that, probably because I'm made of flesh, blood, and bone like everyone else, that I'm going to have inadequacies, and I let those inadequacies creep into anything I do. I don't know how to handle the fact that I have inadequacies. To an extent, at least. Much less so now than I used to being able to, but it still remains that recognizing myself as an imperfect human being with limitations and unbalanced strengths and weaknesses, it terrifies me.